It's it's your youth ministry OG Richie, and welcome to this episode of the Ministry Alphabet. As we mentioned, we talk about all things ministry, and we're going to start with our letter A, and that's for accountability. So accountability is important, whether we're in relationships, whether we're playing in a sports team, and for some of us who have done weight loss challenges or Exodus or Fear at 90, we understand that accountability is that person that encourages us by challenging us to overcome the struggles that we may have so we become better people. And ministry is no different. I've been blessed not to work only in church ministry, but in school ministry, which is quite different. It has a different system to it. So basically, in the job that I had, we had youth ministry coordinators who served as mentors. And basically we had a meeting 4 times per year, so once a term. And in these meetings, we talked about life, how's your family, how's study, what are you doing to re-energize yourself apart from ministry? So it was very nice, it was very pastoral, and that's what we need to do with our leaders. But most importantly, they're able to outline, what you do really well in terms of ministry and what you also need to work on. Now, being in church ministry, you don't really have people, telling you what's going right or wrong, because, you're usually in the office by yourself, or maybe, your priest or your pastor might be too busy, and understandably so. So sometimes you think, I know everything about ministry, it's all good. And I remember applying for a couple of different ministry roles and not getting them. I used to scratch my head and wonder, why is that the case? And one thing I found out from going to those meetings, with my mentors, was they're able to look at, what I was good at and what I need to work on. So, like most people in youth ministry, we all have, passion and zeal, and, we're able to work with audience and speak up in the front, share stories, just like other people. That was quite natural to me. And something I excelled in. And sometimes you think, that's all there is to ministry. But actually there's another element to it. And what I needed to work on was my administrative skills. So, how to manage your time during your work week, how to, speak at meetings, how to facilitate meetings. And secondly, it was just communication. So sending emails with instructions, making sure people are prepared, ahead of running a reflection day or something like that. Now, just like the first example, at first I was like, come on, I've done ministry for years, I know how to run programs, I've done that my whole life. But I really had to humble myself and really assess where I was at. And, it was simple things like having a diary, knowing what was coming up in the calendar and preparing for it in advance. It was those little skills that helped me to take my ministry to the next level, which meant that I was able to serve the young people that God had entrusted me with. So basically, just a couple of practical tips to help you in your ministry. Look, if you are in church ministry, please look for somebody that you can speak to in regards to your youth groups, your young adult groups, and get some feedback from them. What are you doing well? What do you need to work on? And I know for some people it's quite difficult because you're the expert. So you can always go to other churches, make new friends, build relationships, and maybe you can ask those people, how your ministry looks, and you can also assess their ministry in return. Second tip is when you have your youth group or young adults group, please have a debrief. Debriefs are very good. It's really simple. I can quickly show you an example. So at the end of our sessions at youth group, I'll get everyone to come up in a circle and I'll say, after our prayer, just think of one thing that you thought went really well, but also one thing that we need to improve on as a team. Now with the debrief, it's not to call people out or to tell people that they're doing a crap job, but really it's just looking at those finer things, how we can really serve our young people. Is it being more present? Is it preparation, before we start the session? Is it having that confidence? So please make sure you add a team debrief at the end of your events so you know what you're actually doing. Thirdly, if you're someone that struggles with time, or if your head wanders off from one place to another, buy a diary. So buying a diary has been very important to me. In one way I was able to overcome the struggles with personal development and time management, was just writing down what was really important, what was priority and what needed to be done. So have a diary, or keep you on check. It helps you with planning what's coming up ahead, and it's being accountable to your time. Maybe extra tip I'll add as well is, let your priests, let your boss, let them know how you're spending your time in your week. Now, you'll just send an email at the end of the week and you can tell your priests or your boss everything that you've done, but also what you're planning to do and when you're going to finish it by. So for example, preparing for youth group, writing out schedules, setting up the hall, etc., etc. So the priest can have a look at your work and you can say, oh, actually, Richie is doing his job, or, oh, Richie is actually struggling in this. Maybe there's a way we can help him. So it's being accountable to the people who are placed in front of you. If we relate this to scripture, we'll say, with every Timothy, you need a Paul and a Barnabas. So basically Paul, was the main apostle who evangelized around the world, which is why we believe in Jesus today. And also he had a guy like Timothy, a young guy. But Timothy couldn't do this work on his own. He needed that older guidance, that older person to be present to help him in his ministry, which was Paul and Barnabas. Barnabas was a person that encouraged Timothy in his ministry. So my question to you guys is, do you have a person that you're accountable to? Is it a group? Is it a person? And if you don't, how do you run your ministry, or how do you know it's working well or not? Feel free to add any comments that you might have, or if you have any questions. And if you're looking for somebody to be accountability partner in ministry, I'm more than happy to do it for you. But you also got archdiocesan groups that can help you as well. God bless y'all. We'll see you for the next episode, where we're going to talk about the importance of balance and why it is critical to our ministry. God bless you. Peace.